We're here to discuss the security measures surrounding the 52nd running of the New York City Marathon. I want to begin by thanking the New York Road Runners for your long-standing partnership. And not just during the marathon. We work together 365 days a year, collaborating on dozens of races around the boroughs. Your team gives us countless New Yorkers and visitors from around the globe the opportunity to see and enjoy New York City from a unique perspective. So to Rob, Ted, and the entire Road Runners team, thank you. Safeguarding the New York City Marathon is nothing new for the NYPD. But as tensions rise around the globe, there is a growing concern over the impact it will have here at home. So let me be clear, there are currently no credible or specific threats to the marathon or to our city. But having said that, we will still implement a comprehensive security plan. The actual marathon course will have many layers of protection. In a few moments, my Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism, Rebecca Weiner, will share some additional details about our security overlay and how we monitor and respond to the threat stream. But first, let me say to all of our runners or anyone planning to attend, the NYPD will ensure it is a safe event. But as always, we can always use your help. You are our greatest force multiplier. You know if something doesn't look right, don't keep it to yourself. Tell another officer. No matter where you are, there will be one ready right next to you. And should an unscheduled protest pop up, the NYPD will have ample resources staged across the 5 boroughs to respond accordingly. We will always respect the right to assemble and support our nation's freedoms, but we will also ensure our runners can enjoy the day without disruption. And that is the key, because Sunday is our latest chapter in the legendary rivalry between the NYPD and the FDNY. Our two organizations are united in the mission of public safety. But on Sunday, you all know who I'll be rooting for. And there is one member of the running team who we will all be cheering on, and that is our first Deputy Commissioner, Tanya Kinsella. I want to bring her up for a moment to share a little bit about her journey leading up to this race. Commissioner Kinsella.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. This is my 5th New York City Marathon. What better way to see the city, all 5 boroughs, but to run through it? It's amazing. It's an amazing time. My children will be out there. My family will be rooting me on. This year, I'm running particularly for a special person in my life. The man that have raised me, he has stage 4 cancer, and today is about him, Dad. Tomorrow, Sunday, will be about him. I'm running in his honor. I'm running because he can't run, and I look forward to seeing all the happy faces. I look forward to the cheering. I look forward to seeing other officers. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to feel safe. We're going to be safe. And Team Inspire, we're ready to do this on Sunday. Thank you, and God bless.
I'd like to have Ted from the Road Runners come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner. So as stated earlier, New York Road Runners and the TCS New York City Marathon has a year-round relationship and partnership with NYPD, gathering people weekly, daily, and then on Sunday, November 5th, the world coming together to run as one. If there was ever a time to show love, unity, connection, engagement, bonding, it will be on Sunday, November 5th. We're excited to have an amazing race at the TCS New York City Marathon, and we're excited to continue this partnership with our city agencies, especially with NYPD. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce our Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism, Rebecca Weiner.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give you a brief security briefing about what you're going to expect to see on Sunday. And first of all, this is an iconic event. It's been said a couple of times this morning. It really is New York City at its finest, bringing together thousands of people from around the globe who are traversing the 5 boroughs of this city, united with one common goal, which is to cross the finish line that's a few feet away. And in this moment of so much turmoil around the world, The marathon embodies so many great things: human perseverance, strength, resilience, optimism, and fun. So it's our great honor as the NYPD to help keep it safe. This weekend, the men and women of our agency are going to be out in large numbers to ensure the safety of not just all the runners, but the spectators and everyone who's working the event. And I want to also add my voice to highlighting the close partnership we've had over many years, and this year is no exception, with the New York Roadrunners. So thank you, Ted. They've been key allies always in ensuring that the marathon stays safe. This year, 50,000 runners are expected. Over 1 million spectators will be present. So we thank them for what they do day in, day out, year in, and year out. I want to reiterate what Commissioner Caban said. No specific, credible, or imminent threats against the marathon or the city. But we are still, as we know, existing and operating in a heightened threat environment. And whenever we've got large, high-profile gatherings like this, especially one that takes place over so much geography and time, there's nothing more important to our agency than ensuring the safety of everybody and the event. So we're going to have a particularly robust counterterrorism overlay at this year's marathon, which will include heavy weapons teams from our counterterrorism division, canines, special vapor wake detection canines, radiation detection patrols, the deployment of our chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive detection and mitigation capabilities. All of the runners and all of their belongings are going to be screened at the beginning of the race. There will be mobile response teams in every borough who are ready to investigate tips or respond to any incidents as needed. Plainclothes personnel will be in the crowds to detect anyone who is acting in an anomalous or threatening manner. There'll be hundreds of cameras, mobile cameras and fixed cameras along the route, which are going to be monitored by our Lower Manhattan Security Initiative and others. We'll have hundreds of sand trucks and blocker cars in place to ensure that there are no possible entry points for unauthorized vehicles. And like always, we'll have investigators who are following up on tips and leads throughout the weekend and in the days leading up to it. I also want to remind the public that the NYPD has a zero tolerance policy for unauthorized persons who are operating drones. So the operating and flying of drones, unless you are specifically permitted and authorized to do so, does remain strictly prohibited in New York City. So in addition to all these measures that we're taking, we're asking you, as usual, the public, to lend a hand as well, and your eyes and your ears. If you see something suspicious this weekend, please say something to any of the thousands of police officers that you'll see. You can call 911, you can tell an officer, you can call our counterterrorism hotline, 1-888-NYC-SAFE. It's going to be a beautiful weekend out there. Good luck to everyone running, in particular to our first Deputy Commissioner. Thanks so much.
We'll take some on-topic questions. Outside of your agency. Commissioner Weiner, actually, and then anyone else. The director of the FBI yesterday had some pretty sobering things to say in testimony before Congress about the threat environment big picture. And I know you've said there are no specific or credible threats against the city or the marathon. I'm wondering if you could talk about what you are seeing, what your hero is seeing out there.
Yep. And his comments, and I encourage folks to look through them, they do paint a picture quite compellingly of what we've been describing at the NYPD as a heightened threat environment. And he reiterated the same message. No specific or credible threats that he's tracking complex plots against the U.S. at this time. But he mentioned anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim hate crimes on the rise. He mentioned a spate of propaganda by foreign terrorist organizations that we've been tracking and mentioning for weeks. So when we talk about a heightened threat environment overseas, that's what we mean. And that's why we're focusing so many resources. And look, these capabilities that we've created over many years, the resources that we've amassed, are for this specific purpose. So this is the moment when we really lean into using them and coordinating, which we've been doing extensively.
When you say there's a more robust overlay than usual, can you be a little bit more granular? How much more robust?
So all of these resources we have and we use, and I think what we have done for the last few weeks, really since October 7th, but reminder, we've had heightened threat environments before. This is not new to our city. This is certainly not new to our country. Is a lot of coordination between local, state, federal, and international partners, making sure that everybody is reading from the same sheet of music, seeing the same stuff. And we are, and that's really reassuring. And I think we've been telling the public, there's a lot that we do that's out there in the visible public. There's a lot we do behind the scenes. And then we really ask the public to help be a force multiplier for us, which we have. And we continue to do so. And we're really focusing on having a great marathon Sunday. We are quite confident, we are calm, and we're looking forward to seeing the joy on all the runners' faces.
Hi, Rebecca, just a quick follow-up. Talk about, is this a challenge securing this race in terms of 26 miles compared to the usual parade, which are 2 miles, Times Square DZ that's behind the area? What are the challenges that go into such a long route for the objective?
Well, we've got, and I have an amazing team of leaders in this department that we work with, and we do this every year. So this is a challenge that we are well accustomed to dealing with and very prepared for. And it's true, it is a long, large race, lots of people, a lot of space and time. But again, we've been training, as all the runners have been training for the race, we've been training for this event year after year.
Dingo, Sam, New York.
How will this affect the robust security? How will it affect the runners and spectators? Will it be normal wait times to come in?
No. And again, my colleagues here can speak to this as well. But no, this is really about behind the scenes work. The runners are going to have the same amazing experience. The spectators are going to have the same amazing experience that they always have.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, everybody. We'll take a brief pause, and then I'll update you on this morning's police and officer meeting.
I'm sorry. Again, so good morning to all the members of the media. I'd just like to start off by saying Chief of Patrol John Shell is at the scene, and he will be providing a briefing at the scene. It'll be a little more comprehensive because he's on the scene based on the details that we have at this point. But just to take you back on Sunday, October 29th, at about 8:30 in the evening, there was a particularly vicious double shooting in the East Flatbush section of Brooklyn, where a male 47 and a male 27, who happened to be father and son, were both killed. Shortly thereafter that incident, the Detective Bureau developed a person of interest and then established a probable cause to arrest for a male named Jason Pass. He was known to the department and became the subject of a search. Our warrant squad, our detective squads, were searching for this male. This morning, at about 10 after 7, a uniformed patrol car from the 60th Precinct on patrol in a vehicle that was equipped with license plate reader technology arrived past a vehicle which shows that the vehicle was wanted for murder, that the occupant was possibly wanted for murder. The officers call for backup. They swing back around to approach the vehicle, which was occupied by one male. As they get to the vehicle, the male exits the vehicle. The officers were able to surround the male. They established dialogue. They spoke for a few minutes. And then at a point, the male who was armed at a knife lunged at one of the officers, causing the officers to fire for their own safety. Numerous officers discharged their weapon. The male was removed to a local hospital. The officers were all removed to a local hospital, and the male eventually succumbed to his injuries. The male was the male who was identified as our subject for the homicide on Sunday in East Flatbush. And that's all I have for this time. Chief Shell will give a brief and give more details of this incident that occurred this morning.